Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. And it is now time for the rest of the week in pro wrestling. Now, bit of amendment. I did miss SmackDown, but that's because I had some family over, so yeah, I think it's fine. And also, still no NWA USA. I'm trying to figure that out, but I will try my best to get it involved in the rotation going forward. So we are reviewing two shows for this time: Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor, which both were really, really good this week. So sit back, relax, grab yourself something to drink, and let's do this. So, first show we're going to look at is Impact Wrestling, and this is the fallout from the Rebellion event, which was very, very good. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's on Fight TV. And we open up this show with a trios match. Bit of a rare sight for Impact these days, although they've been doing much more of them. As you got Time Machine, that's Kushida and the Motor City Machine Guns, taking on Jonathan Gresham, Speedball Mike Bailey, and the X Division champion, Trey Miguel. The non-Time Machine trio actually was involved in a match at Rebellion, so this is a, can they coexist situation. And for a while they did. You eventually got Trey tagging in, and at opportune moments, when the opponent's down and he takes advantage, even when their partner, whether it's Gresham or Bailey, have an advantage. Eventually, this backfires on Trey, and he gets absolutely triple teamed by Time Machine, and we see Chris Sabin for the first time in a while I've seen it hit the Cradle Shock for the victory. Sabin did technically pin the X Division champion, so maybe he's next in line, which, it's Sabin singles run for a bit. I wouldn't mind that. And look, as much as I like Time Machine, maybe a Sabin singles run for now would be fun. We then get a Santino Marella interview backstage saying, there's always a chance I could jump back in the ring. He had his first match in 9 years at Rebellion. It started off as a handicap match, but then it turned into a 3-on-3, which he won with the Cobra, which I will always love. He's saying how the Director of Authority is a full-time gig, keeping the kids in line. This brings out Alicia Edwards, talking about how, Eddie's been missing, why didn't you protect him from PCO? Then Santino informs her, you've got a match you have to get ready for. So she goes away, and we get to that match, which is Alicia Edwards versus Tara Rising. This is a very, very one-sided affair for Alicia Edwards, who picks up the win. Then Edwards attacks Rising from behind after the match. She is then saved by Jody Threat, who is a newcomer to the Knockouts division. And, it looks like we're going to see a Jody Threat, Alicia Edwards feud, which I'm pretty up for. Next up, we got Moose taking on Yuya Uemura. Each man does have a second. Moose has Brian Myers. Yuya Uemura has... Who did he have ringside? I forget. I do... Bhupendra Gujjar, that's who he has ringside. these two guys threw haymakers at each other. Myers does get involved eventually, but then he is taken out by Gujar for the spear and the win for Moose. We then get a Nick Aldis interview in which he says, "I'm ready to be the next world champion whenever Maclin stops ducking me." So that's going to be an interesting little feud going forward. We then have Kaz in a 2-on-1 handicap match against the Good Hands. This match was pretty short and sweet for what it was. Kaz picks up the win after a cutter. And a chicken wing. So, I don't know where they go with Kaz, but hopefully it's somewhere a bit more up the card. You have the Coven backstage, pretty much playing with their tarot cards. They're saying a change is coming, and they pretty much call out Purrazzo, the new Knockouts champion. Kylan King versus Purrazzo, or Terrell Wild versus Purrazzo? Yeah, sign me up. You then get a Sami Callihan vignette, pretty much revealing, I've had my own 7 steps of my own. He's going to take the design down from the inside, and now he's going to make their lives a living hell, which, I was hoping by now Callihan would have some backup, but we'll see. We then get a very surprising match for the Digital Media Championship as Shelton Jean, who is making his Impact debut, takes on the local hero and the Digital Media Champion, Joe Hendry. Very, very good back and forth match. Jean definitely still needs to do a little something to get on. And then after a standing ovation, Hendry gets the win. While very short, it did give us a view of what Gene is all about, and I'm interested to see him in the future. We then get the Maclin Changing of the Guard ceremony, which is our main event segment. You'll have Steve Maclin coming out with the world title and his bodyguards all dressed in camo. He pretty much says, Impact gave me the opportunity and I kicked down the door. Now he's the world champion. Mission was getting done little by little. Now he's the champ. But he's not done. He wanted to get the title off of Josh Alexander. And now with his injury, that's the next step. He then issues an open challenge for the world title for any Canadian. He starts drawing with kids in the crowd. Out comes Scott D'Amore, and it maybe looks like he's about to step up, but instead says, nah, my wrestling days are behind me. However, I do have a very worthy Canadian for you. Perfect Creation 1. That's right, we're getting PCO versus Maclin at Under Siege for the world title in the near future. And honestly, I am here for it. PCO has definitely deserved a title shot for a while now in Impact, and seeing that match is going to be absolutely crazy. So that is Impact all done. Now we have Ring of Honor, which we kick off with a pretty interesting tag team match. The Kingdom take on Darius Martin of Top Flight and Action Andretti. Action Andretti last week came out and helped Darius Martin after a beatdown from the Kingdom. And now they're tagging up because Dante Martin is out with injury. Get well soon, Dante. Definitely some good high-flying stuff from Andretti and Darius, with Taven and Mike Bennett trying to slow things down some. Ultimately, Maria gets up on the apron, distracts Darius. That gets him knocked off the top rope. And then after a low blow, a big boot, and a proton pack, your winners, the Kingdom. And honestly, I'm definitely with the Kingdom kind of cheating to win. Like, it fits their character, and it's fun for me. Hopefully they do something interesting once Dante gets back, because I would like to see Top Flight eventually get the tag titles. Next up, we got an Athena interview backstage, basically saying, "Oh, you feel like this is a game? This is fun? All your porcelain dolls I've been running through. No one is on my level. And I'm the Joshi killer. So everyone come at me." So it's going to be interesting to see where Athena goes. Maybe we'll see some more Joshi wrestlers come in and challenge her. Next up, we have Robin Renegade taking on Willow Nightingale. And this match was actually very, very competitive. And these two definitely had some real chemistry. Obviously, Willow with the power. Robin with a little more athletic moves than, like, fully speed. But it worked. Willow then just pounces Robin outside the ring. And then Robin and Charlotte try twin magic, where Charlotte got in the ring and, ref caught it. Robin attacks Willow from behind. A super kick from Robin, which Willow gets the roll up for the victory. Post-match, both the Renegades, Robin and Charlotte, attack Willow. And, Willow Nightingale versus the Renegades in a bit of a feud. I'd get behind that. We then get a Colt Cabana interview, as this is his first match back in Ring of Honor since the rebrand. He says he has a deep history with Samoa Joe, his opponent. He's faced him for the Ring of Honor World title, the Pure title, and now they're rounding out the trifecta with the television title in the main event. We'll get to that in a little bit. Don't you worry. And he's going to make the most of the opportunity he has been given. We then get a surprisingly competitive match between Brian Cage and Joey Jett. Joey Jett being a local competitor from whatever training school they were in Milwaukee. And honestly, this was a very fun, very competitive match. Usually matches like these are squashes. But, it was a lot of fun. Joey Jett got a lot of offense in. But ultimately, it ends after the F5 by Cage, who picks up the win. Next up, we have the Ring of Honor Women's Title Proving Ground match. Pretty much a number one contenders match. We have Athena taking on Heather Reckless. And it goes about as well as you think it does for Miss Reckless. And after a bunch of power bombs into the crossface, your winner, Athena, who wins by submission. Initially, she doesn't let go of the crossface hold. And she does. She gets the title belt, lays it on the ground, face first into the title. So, this, I don't know if this feud is still going on, but hopefully we get something a bit more in the future. Next up, we got a pretty interesting tag team match playa, as Lee Johnson and Cole Carter, formerly of The Factory, take on Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds. All hail the Dark Order. This match was actually a lot of fun. 100 miles an hour right from the get-go. A lot of counters, a lot of just good stuff. Ultimately. And then after a myriad of moves, a clothesline into an instant-giri, into a stunner, your winners, the Dark Order. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to see where the Dark Order goes from there, especially with the Righteous trying to recruit Stu Grayson. Or at least I think that's what's going on. Next up, we have Konosuke Takeshita taking on Lee Moriarty in a very, very, very good match. Lots of good back and forth. You have Lee Moriarty's speed taking on Takeshita's just straight up athletic ability. This was a really good match. And yeah, entire time Lee Moriarty was working the arms, trying to get that submission in. Ultimately, that backfires. And then after a blocked Chaos Theory, Ripcord Elbow, big old knee strike, your winner, Konosuke Takeshita. Next up for the AAA Mega Championship, that's right, you have El Hijo del Vikingo taking on Gringo Loco. And these two guys absolutely killed it. I cannot describe fully what I saw, but what I saw was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to give this match a bunch of big old thumbs up and my must-watch seal of approval. And then after a big 630 splash, your winner, still champion, Vikingo. Oh, that was Lucha Libre at its finest. Let me say that. And finalamo, in our main event of the evening, we have Colt Cabana taking on Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor television title. And oh boy, they beat the 7 shades of poop out of one another. Like, this was a great back and forth bout. Nice chain wrestling. Very little high spots, which I'm good with, especially after the Vikingo match. And then after a moonsault, which Joe caught, put Colt Cabana in the Kikina clutch for the submission victory and retaining his title, Samoa Joe. This week in wrestling has been a lot of fun. I love watching this stuff. I hope you do too. So, coming up, we got some big stuff going on. May 5th, that's going to be Backlash. Starting this coming Friday is the WWE Draft, which hopefully we see some more, the brands actually separate. But, you know, you got the Bloodline holding all the belts. So that's going to be interesting. NWA has the Crockett Cup upcoming, which is a big old tag tournament. So that should be a fun one. And, yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. I hope you're ready for this ride. And until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.